Welcome to the World of Art with Paul Crimi. Today we're going to do something different. I'm going to tell you a story. My son, when he was 12 years old, had a very bad accident with the high-tension wire. And when I got to the scene of the accident, he was actually dead. And I was an atheist straight out of the Marine Corps, and I was really shocked when I saw my son laying on the ground and his pants were smoking. And I didn't know what to do. I kneeled down and I put my hands on him and I said, "Dear God, don't let him die like this." It started something inside of me. I was at the museum school at the time. I was a hairdresser. I had 2 beauty parlors. I was really going at it, working like a dog, doing all kinds of things, and my artwork. And I went back to the museum school because I had 2 years left on my GI Bill. And the professor made me do a religious painting, and I wasn't in the mood to do it. And he insisted, he said, "You won't pass the course." So I did this beautiful abstract crucifixion, and he loved it. And he said, "You're going to wind up doing some religious work that's going to change people, make them feel like they've really been around something special." And I said, "You're kidding. I'm not that type of person. I'm not even religious. I just take the kids to church because that's what my father said I had to do." So, after this accident, I made this crucifixion for St. Mary's Church in Hanover out of copper wire, 700 pounds, and it took me 2 years to do it. And after I was done, I felt like there was still something missing, and I wanted to do something that would affect each and every person. So I was in the tub one day, taking a bath. I like to take a bath. I take about an hour, hour and a half, and sitting in the hot water until it cools down. And the Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, "Paul, you have a box full of shattered mirror glass. You take it and you put it on a wooden cross and you show people who they are to God." So here's the first one I've done. I did this yesterday and I'm going to do one tonight. And this is the one I did yesterday. And what it says is when I hold it up to my face or yours, it sees your image of your own face, and it says, "I take your brokenness and make you whole." So I have probably done maybe 150, 200 of these crosses for all kinds of people, for all kinds of things. For cancer, for whatever they're going through. Or just my friend in work, his wife just passed away, and I made one of these yesterday for him, and I gave it to him today, and he was really touched by it. So today we're going to do another one to show you how I do it, and we'll see how it comes out. So what I do is I take each and every piece of glass that I put here and I put it on the wood to see how it's going to look. And that's how I start. I start putting stuff on the glass to see how it's going to look and how it's going to feel. And I start building the corpus with different glass, like I'm doing. And you may see me change my mind. You may see it quite a few times. The work has to all fit together. It has to have a harmony and a piece that I like. It can't be separated. I don't go around changing things. I look at it until it fits. And believe it or not, after doing as many as I have done, they always seem to fit, somehow. I don't know what it is, but maybe I do know what it is. I get a little help from a special source. So I just keep putting the glass down so it fits to the particular idea that I want. And once I get the glass in place, then I take off each piece one at a time until I have the whole figure in the position where I want it. It may not look like anything while I'm doing this, but I promise you, as it grows and as I do it, somehow it takes on a life of its own and it becomes crucified Christ that has this statement, I take your brokenness and make you whole, which I love. I love that statement. Because all of us are broken in some way or somehow. We all have an affection, or we all have some kind of a thing. And it doesn't leave us. We have to leave it. We can't let it control us. We can't let it be on more than what we are to make us less than what we should be. All right, so I'm getting here, putting more and more glass down. This is a big cross, so I want it to be powerful. I want it to, and then after I'm all done putting all the glass on and I glue it, then I take this bottle of glass cleaner and I clean it up, and it's done. So we're going to get there. We're just taking our time. We're in no hurry. You know, it's very, very spiritual for me to even touch this. It touches me every time I put down a piece of glass and it fits into place. And I say to myself, boy, this has been going on now for, my son was 12 years old. Today he's 55 today. And he's healthy. He's a great guy, great father. He has 2 kids. He has a son and a daughter. The daughter was first, and then the son. The son's a second marriage. His wife had a problem, and they didn't seem to get along, and it worked out that he wound up with the kid. I don't want to go into any details. Just doesn't want to make it find. It is what it is. So, you start to see it. It starts to see you, and it starts to have a life, and it starts to look like the corpus. And boy, that came up pretty fast. Okay, so I've got it where I want it right now, so I'm going to move this stuff. I might use it later, might use it in different places. So here's how I start. I have this, get this out of the way, I don't need this. Oh yeah, I need one thing. I have to stand up for a second. I need the glue. I didn't need that. Good. Here's the glue. They go inside the gun, pull it back, put the glue in, squeeze it, and then you'll start to see the glue come out. I have to wait till it gets warm, hot. See if I can get another one in there. Oh, I don't think so. So, every time we do something, it's always something that has to be done. So, I'm going to see if I can get this in. A little difficult, but I'll get it. There it is. All right, now the glue's coming out. So what I do, I pick up a piece and I put the glue on. And we're off and running. And when I first started doing this, and I got this glue gun, I had some horrendous burns. Oh my goodness gracious. So I've gotten a little better at that. Each piece has its own place, has its own feeling. I was making that one yesterday and I wanted to put red glass in place around it. Oh my God. Sometimes the glue gets a little bulky and I take it off with my fingernails, but sometimes if I touch it too soon, it's like, okay, you just got burnt. And when I do this, I always do it by myself. I'm always meditating as I'm doing it, and I'm thinking, you know, how's this going to come out? What's it going to look like? And somehow, it always seems to fit into place. And when I bought this glue gun in the glue, I think I paid, I don't know, $500 30 years ago. I think I paid $150 for the glue gun, and the rest was the glue. I couldn't believe how expensive the glue was. But you can't do anything without it, so. And when I bought the gun, and the guy says to me, I don't know what you do, what you're going to do, but be careful with this. This stuff is really hot. And I says, okay. You know, I had no clue. I'm sorry I'm not talking, I'm concentrating, and it's requires you to spend time thinking about what you're putting down, how you're doing it, even though I set it up a little. Okay. Nice, 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 good. All right. squinting my eyes like I'm painting. I'm seeing how everything's starting to fit. And you know, another thing is I got to make sure that it's not going to be on the edge where it can hurt anybody. So sometimes I'll take this and I'll snap off a piece of the glass like that, so that somebody touches it, it doesn't cut them. I don't want anybody ever to get hurt from one of these, and that's a good spot. I don't need this piece. I need these and this. Good. This gun is abused. So I've used it so much that it does silly things like leak. It just leaked on this wood. Got it glued to the table. I'll have to take it off later. I'm not going to waste any time on it. I just want to make sure I can get the hand in the right place. That's how strong the glue is. Good. All right. Now we got that out of the way. All right. Got to put a piece. Nice. There you go. When I usually do this, I usually do it by myself, and it take forever. I keep changing and moving and changing and ugh. But of all the crosses I've made, I've never been disappointed with any, not a single one of them. All of them meant so much. It means a lot to the people who get it, too. That's the most important part. Nice. Beautiful. Gorgeous. I see this thing done before I even start. That's kind of hard to explain to people. But when you've done something for so many years, over and over and over. I have a little statement right there behind me that says, creativity takes courage. And I get a lot of harassment from certain people because they're not religious and they think that this is terrible. And I say, well, I don't think the crucifixion was a nice thing. What he did for us. We're getting there. Okay. So each piece puts it in a better position . going to do the arms now. Second arm. No, not working. Good. I'm not talking because I'm concentrating. I'm sorry if I'm not talking. All right, I got that done. Okay. So now we've got these three pieces. See, once you get going, all of a sudden it's done. What you don't want to do is touch the glue like I just did. Okay. Getting out of work. Okay. Oh, yeah. So what I'm doing is putting the crown on. These are the thongs. We're getting there. Okay. Now, I'm looking for a piece that has something to say to the face. And that's it, right there. In the last few years, I've been putting kind of another layer with the face, because I think the face is the most important part of this. When I first started doing it, I didn't do that, but as I've gotten older, I want this to be real strong when I'm done. There's always a little crack here and there, so once in a while I'll put a piece in like this. I just keep snapping away until I have it where I want it. I want this to look like his hair. Nice. And no two of these things ever come out like the same. That's what I love about them. Each one of them has its own personality. I'm almost done.
Unknown caller.
Shut that off. Sorry about that. That happens all day long. Unknown caller. Good. I really love the way this is coming out. You might think that I've made these arms and shoulders too strong, but I don't see Jesus as a skinny little guy. I see him as a real muscular kind of carpenter. I've always tried to portray that in some of the pieces. I mean, I'm forever looking at crucifixions because I go to Mass every single day when I can. And I am going to clean this up a little now, see how I'm talking about. And sometimes I'll take, some of the glue can get out, I'll clean the glue up. Now, like I said, you have to realize this is really is a mirror, and that's the beauty of it, because when you hold it up and you take a look at it, and when you're standing in front of it and you have it in front of your face, you see a reflection of yourself, and that's when it says, "I take your brokenness and make you whole, and set you free from your afflictions." So I've given this to people with cancer, and I've given it to people with all kinds of ailments. And you know, I've never done anything to make anything different in them, but I'm sure the cross has made something different. People have told me it changed the way they felt about themselves and looked at themselves. You know, we are here for each other, and the thing with each other is that there's something that we have to do. An artist has the ability to make a difference in some people's lives. There was this thing with Picasso and Matisse. Matisse did 2 chapels in France, and Picasso had an argument with him saying, "You're not religious, why are you doing a chapel and why are you doing a church?" And he said to Picasso, "Everyone is religious. It's just that you're still mad at God because your sister died and you never forgave God for that. But your sister's in a better place." Picasso said, "That's crazy," and walked away, and he never became a Christian. But Matisse, he did those beautiful chapels in France, and they're gorgeous. You know, you say, "Why would you be doing this kind of a thing, Paul?" I said, "Because you touch people, and people get set free. We're living in a funny time right now. This epidemic has really put a whole bunch of people in a lot of positions that they don't want to be in. And so I think that because you see this and you feel this, maybe it'll make a difference. I don't know. I'm tired of people fighting about Biden and Trump and all of this. I think that we have to be happy of where we're living and what we're living in. So I want to say God bless, thank you, and hope you enjoyed what we did.